And when I said in my 9 titles, I am His Melchizedek, Dr. Adgehs, the proud Caucasian Hebrew ethnic American man with registered Hebrew, Caucasian Hebrew look, it may seem something ambiguous how dare it can happen. And I want to clarify it to you. And the title you will hear, you'll learn about it at the ending of my Hebraist global campaign song, "My Fire of Elijah," is Engelfield old. And it is based on Genesis chapter 25, verse 21 to 26, 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 1 to 13, Song of Songs chapter 5, verse 10, Lamentation chapter 4, verse 1 to 7. And I have also divine visions that He provided me. In Genesis chapter 25, we see Jacob and Esau are Isaac and Jacob and Esau are twin brothers. Yet Esau was red-skinned Hebrew, whereas but Jacob was Caucasian Hebrew. Both of them born of the same Caucasian Hebrew mother, father, grandfather, grandmother. What it came to happen, it is the Hebraist miracle beyond epigenetics, and in such a way is what I am born. I'm born of Caucasian Hebrew, white mix Hebrews, and not from any other. And not only in the scriptures, Elohim has provided me various divine visions. In 2010, I saw my Hebrew forefathers more than 3,000 something years ago. And while they were celebrating their victory after inheriting the land, the promised land, as noted in Joshua chapter 21, verse 43 through 45. Then 2011 to 12, 71 to 72, calendar 50 to 51 criteria, I saw my Caucasian Hebrew foremother, as well as my Caucasian Hebrew sister. She's part of Israel Aswad, or a Caucasian Hebrew girl in America, an American. She's part of my Pemstrojdew Adgehs as well. The thing is, it's not incest. Instead, because all of them they are my Hebrew forefathers. I mean, my Hebrew ethnics born of the same common ancestry of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, from whom I have sprung forth. My name is His Melchizedek, Dr. Adgehs, the Hebraist High Priest, Kohen Gadol, ruler of all nations in the universe, the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the God of Shem, the God of Esau, Ishmael, the Almighty God, Yahweh Elohim, anointed, appointed. And I am aware of the hypothesis various scientists have said about time travel. In their hypothesis, they have said it is possible to travel backward as well as forward in time. And their definition thereof is when a person could travel backward in time and see what happened in ancient time at a specific period of time, a specific day, what happened then, it would be considered as time backward time travel. Whereas if a person could travel forward and see before time, ahead of time, what is going to happen in days ahead, they call it time travel forward. I am not sure as whether it is time travel or not, but in terms of seeing what happened in ancient days, as well as what is going to happen in days ahead, the Almighty God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Ishmael, the God of Shem, Yahweh Shua, and the God of Esau, has provided me divine visions. It is my Hebraist divine visions. And on May 8, 2010, 24th of Iyar, 770 Hebrew calendar, 49 Hebraist Iran, I saw, it is more than 3,400 years ago, when my Hebrew forefathers inherited the land, the promised land, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Shem, the God of Ishmael, the God of Esau, promised to them. And I saw them while they were celebrating their victory, as what my Hebrew forefather, the then King David, in Psalm chapter 98, verse 3, stated it. And most of them, the very large majority, are Caucasian Hebrews. There are few red-skin Hebrews. What I'm trying to say is, where did the red-skin Hebrews came from? Well, in Genesis chapter 25, verse 21 to 26, 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 1 to 13, Song of Songs chapter 5, verse 10, Lamentations chapter 4, verse 1 to 7, we see Esau, who was the twin of Jacob, born of the same Caucasian Hebrew father, mother, the same Caucasian Hebrew grandfather. Esau is red-skin Hebrew, whereas Jacob is Caucasian Hebrew. Well, in terms of ethnicity, all of them are Caucasian Hebrews, whether Esau or Jacob. But in terms of look, Esau is red-skin Hebrew, whereas Jacob is Caucasian Hebrew. So was my Hebrew father, the then King David. In terms of ethnicity, he is Caucasian Hebrew ethnic, descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Nevertheless, had red-skin Hebrew look. So what is stated in Song of Songs as well as in Lamentations. Accordingly, red-skin Hebrews, it's only a look. It's only the look. Otherwise, in terms of ethnicity, they are all Caucasian Hebrews, descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And my Hebrew forefather, the then King David, is not descendant of Esau. And instead, down the road, what happened in the house of and the household of Israel. If it was in terms of what Charles Darwin said, evolution, genetic mutation, making the variance in the looks of various persons. If it was so, the Asians, and they have black hair, they look yellow, and they have lived thousands of years in such a condition, and they're numerous. Also the Indians, they have black hair, red skin look, have lived thousands of years. They're numerous. Both of them descendants of hair, and now they are more than 2 billion in physical number. But they are living in the poor countries than the descendants of Jacob, which is Israel at large, as well as the state of Israel, Western Europe and North America, Oceania, and very few in South America. So if it is genetic mutation, it is the poor countries because of the poor health condition, which are susceptible to the more genetic mutation, and such changes, variations could happen. Nevertheless, we see though the Asians, the Indians, there are poor countries, and the more susceptible for it, there is nothing among them which sprang out of Asian mother or father, which sprang from Asian mother, father, from Indian mother, father, a white kid or a person who has red hair or brown hair or so. All of them are red skin with black hair, Indians, and the rest are, the Asians are yellow skin, black hair Asians. It didn't happen. But we see in the household of Israel, Isaac, we see such things happening. And it is the Hebraist miracle beyond epigenetics. If it was what epigenetics says, environmental factors affect the genetic expression. So the child which is going to be born is affected by environmental factors, the look of the child. If it was so, both of them, both Jacob as well as Esau, would have identical look. If environment affected them, both of them have to be red skin Hebrew look, and they have, though they are Caucasian Hebrew ethnics also. But we see Esau has red skin Hebrew look, whereas he is in terms of ethnicity Caucasian Hebrew, and Jacob has remained without any change, without any no variance in terms of his look, just inherited as Caucasian Hebrew, as inherited from his mother, father, grandfather, and grandmother. So it is indeed the Hebraist miracle beyond epigenetics, environmental factor beyond environmental factor, affecting the gene expression or the inheritance of the child, the look, and so on. And it's not all. It is in the house of Jacob we see such things have pursued as well. We see King David thereafter, and also in Song of Songs chapter 5 verse 10, in Lamentations chapter 4 verse 1 through 7, they are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not the descendants of Esau. So we see in the household of Israel, we see such a thing. And it's not only, we see in the household of Israel, there are blonde, brunette, brown hair, red hair, and so on. Not Asians, as well as Indians, there is no such type of thing. And it's a Hebraist miracle beyond epigenetics. And I even suspect all of those in so-called Gentile countries who are blondes, brunette, red hair, brown hair, and so on, may be descendants of Hebrew descendants of Jacob, who have died, their genuine identity have died thousands of years ago. Just as the Israel at large, the Scandinavians, the British, the Irish, Iceland, Belgium, Luxembourg, France, and Swiss, and their descendants, North America, South America, Oceania. And things being so, red skin Hebrews are born of Caucasian Hebrews. The red skin Hebrew is only in terms of look, not in terms of ethnicity. In terms of ethnicity, it is Caucasian Hebrews. And also, further to provide better additional evidence is the so-called Arabs, as well as we Israeli Hebrews. We are descendants of the same common Hebrew ancestor, Shem. And even many of the so-called Arabs are descendants of Abraham as well as Isaac. But all of them, they have black hair, although they are white. Caucasian, and though they are Hebrew descendants. All of them have black hair. But we see the brown, red hair, blonde, brunette, and so on in the descendants of Jacob. It is just a Hebraist miracle beyond epigenetics. So now, being aware of where did the red-skinned Hebrews came from, it's only a look in terms of ethnicity, and they are all descendants of Caucasian Hebrews. And what happened is, as I said, I saw my Caucasian Hebrew forefathers. Very numerous of them are Caucasian Hebrews, whites. And there were few, very few, Caucasian Hebrew ethnics with red-skinned Hebrew look among them. It is more than 3,400 years ago which happened. And I saw it. Elohim provided me with a vision. Then, but nevertheless, before then, while I was sojourning in Ethiopia, 1981 to 82, 57, 41 through 42 calendar, 22 to 21 Hebraist era, Elohim provided me a divine vision. I am Hebraist, I am not Jew, though I am Caucasian Hebrew ethnic American man with Caucasian Hebrew, red-skinned Hebrew look, born and raised in Ethiopia, because my Caucasian Hebrew forefathers went to Ethiopia during the 1700 years of Hebrew persecution, for the reason our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua wrote about it in Luke chapter 19, verse 41 through 44. And I'm born and raised there. I was only a sojourner, a foreigner in the land of Cush. Genesis chapter 2, verse 13. Ethiopia is a land of Cush, not a Hebrew country. And I was sojourning there until the time Elohim brought me to inherit me my land in the United States of America. 1981 to 82, 42 calendar, 22 to 21 Hebraist era. We are Hebraists. I am Hebraist, and I saw a divine vision. In the vision, I saw our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua, the wonderful counselor of the Hebrews, being crucified live in Israel. I saw neuter being crucified live. I was standing in front of our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua, maybe 25 to 39 meters in front of our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua. And I was standing and weeping as I am seeing our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua being crucified. And I was singing a song. I'll sing it to you. And my Hebraist song, the version you hear, listen, is the version in which we sing in my Hebraist Bet Elohim, commemorating the crucifixion of our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua. I do remember our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua, I saw being crucified. My totally blameless heavenly sacrifice, crucified on the cross, how neuter suffered. I do remember our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua, I saw being crucified. The wonderful counselor of Hebrews, being on the cross, how neuter suffered. I do remember our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua, I saw being crucified. The wonderful counselor of Hebrews, being on the cross, how neuter suffered. I want you to mind something. Paul has framed Hebrews in 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 14 through 16 as the murderers who killed our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua, and who prosecute them, so they don't preach to the Gentiles, and so on. And the wrath of God has come upon the Hebrews. It is all a framing not the truth. And when you read in when you read Matthew chapter 26 through the end of chapter 27, you see concise clearly that then Hebrew High Priest as well as clergies arrested our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua and brought to Pilate, the Roman Pilate, and the Roman Empire official, and demanded neuter to be crucified. After that, they accused and our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua for blasphemy, blaspheming God, and they demanded neuter's crucifixion. It is all. And neuter was crucified by the injustice of the Roman Pilate, not anything they made. They didn't murder. And it's only they arrested and provided to Pilate and demanded neuter's crucifixion. And as for saying they are hindering us from prosecuting us from preaching the Gentiles, in Acts chapter 14 we see they stoned Paul when Paul went to their so-called synagogue, temple, and preached heresy, Christianity, which is a heresy of Paul. But when later Paul, as well as his followers, were preaching in the city, the Gentiles, none have said anything against. So it is all a false accusation only affirming. And as for the wrath of God have come upon them to the utmost, it was all only publication, not the truth. We see in Luke chapter 23, verse 34, our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua has exonerated all of the Hebrews, including the Hebrew High Priest clergy, who arrested neuter and brought neuter to Pilate and demanded neuter's crucifixion. Why? As noted in Isaiah chapter, as prophesied in Isaiah chapter 11, verse 3, our Hebrew Messiah, they misunderstood our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua because neuter had been teaching them in parables. In parables. The parables, leave alone them, even those, the time medium which later the chief of priests of our Hebraist Bet Elohim, who spent all the days with neuter, our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua, they themselves even were not able to understand it. As noted in Matthew chapter 13, verse 36, after our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua taught various the Hebrews as well as the priests and so on with parable, they came and requested our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua to explain them what the parable means. Yet the persons who had been with our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua for long, more than a year or two, and they have listened all the sermons neuter taught, they have saw all the miracles neuter made. Even they were not able to understand the parables. Leave alone the Hebrew High Priest, the clergy, which in rare occasions, they have encountered our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua. So this is why neuter exonerated them. Say what the Father forgive them, because they are not aware what they are into, because they perceived our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua a blasphemer, as noted in Matthew chapter 26, verse 60 through 65. They perceived our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua is a human being. And when neuter said, yes, I'm the Son of God, the Messiah, at the time the Hebrew High Priest said, well, he has committed blasphemy, yet he's a human being. I said he's God. Because taking the name of God for themselves or any person's identity of God is blasphemy. So it was why. And there is nothing, no wrath came upon them. What happened? Why was the 1700 this persecution? As our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua wrote about it in Luke chapter 19, verse 41 to 44. So not anything of wrath of God at all. Instead, failure of Hebrew, as our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua, the God of Israel, spoke by a prophet, by Hebraist prophets in Isaiah, in Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 4 through 7. The leadership wrongly leading them astray from the way of God. It is what caused the Holocaust. It is what caused the 1700 years persecution of Hebrews, as our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua wrote about it. Not any other thing. And 1982, 742 Hebrew calendar, 21 Hebraist era is the time in which I declare the truth of God, stating Christians are wrong, Sabbaths have to be observed. And it was the start of my heroism, which started, it was the start of overcoming the heretic teachings of Paul. Though my heroism started in 1965, 725 year calendar, for Hebraist era, by my divine visions the God of Israel provided me. It was the time neuter was stirring me up by neuters, Rukaka, the Spirit of God, by divine visions, as noted in Judges chapter 13, verse 25. The divine visions which I told the white niggers about them, and they are fulfilled a day or two or so later after I told about the divine vision to white niggers, thereby converting them to Hebraist. And since 1966, with 726 Hebrew calendar, 5 Hebraist era, I am married to all white niggers. And 1973 to 77, 733 to 37 Hebrew calendar, 12 to 16 Hebraist era, I knew this virgin, punctured, penetrated, consummated my righteous marriage to all of my white niggers. I am married to them since 1966, 726 Hebrew calendar, 5 Hebraist era, and 1980, 5740 Hebrew calendar, 19 Hebraist era, the God of Israel revealed to me, neuter has named me the righteous Adam of all white ethnic girls. And and 1987, 5747 Hebrew calendar, 26 Hebraist era, as I am worshipping the God of Israel, I was shouting at IC, they call it the International Evangelical Church. It was located in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and it is a white ethnic Americans owned so-called church. And more than 99% of those who worship there are white ethnic. And as I'm worshipping Elohim along with my Hebrew elders, I taught them stating Christianity is the heresy of Paul. This is then the start is since 1982, 1987 in the Bible study I preached stating so-called Apostle Paul is a heretic minister whose teaching Christianity is couldn't be relied upon, because Paul, who says the law is absolute, then don't obey it, in Romans chapter 3 verse 20 through 21, Philippians chapter 3 verse 1 through 9, Colossians chapter 2 verse 11 through 16, and so on. The same Paul in Adgehs chapter 21 verse 18 through 26, we see Paul has repented of his heretic teaching, Christianity, in which he's saying the law is done away, don't obey it, it's obsolete. And willfully upholding the law, he has repented and cleansed, purified himself according to the law, and an offering was about to be offered for him, for the sins. The heretic teaching he taught, for the sin he committed, and he has repented. In our Hebraist Bet Elohim, under my our Hebraist High Priest James. So it was what I thought, but at the time the white male figure who was conducting the Bible study said, "Oh boy, Paul may give a lip service," and distracted me. It just distracted me. I didn't pursue it further, though I didn't lose ground, which I had gained. And in 2002, 5762 Hebrew calendar, 41 Hebraist Elohim really revealed me with many evidences. Indeed, Christianity is a heresy of power, as well as the mistake of the Jerusalem Council. Then at the time I prevailed against the Christian Messianics, and then in 2004, after 64 Hebrew calendar, 43 Hebraist, as I'm teaching, mobilizing my Hebraist stating so, all of those who consider themselves affiliated to all denominations of Christianity as well as Messianic Judaism, they surrendered their God to me. The video of their Jesus, they surrendered to me. Because I was teaching, stating their God, their so-called Jesus, Christian so-called Jesus, Messianic Jew so-called Yeshua, is anti-Hebraist person, not our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua as well. The framer, the anti-Hebraist evil in Luke chapter 18 verse 18 through 19, so-called he has admitted, so-called he is evil. Evil is demonic spirit, not God. And in John chapter 8 verse 44, their God, anti-Hebraist evil, has framed Hebrews as children of the devil. And it was the verse, so-called inspirational verse for Hitler and the followers of Hitler to prosecute Hebrews, and which caused the murder of more than 5 million Hebrews, believers of God. And I started teaching about it in 1989, 5749, Hebrew calendar 28 Hebraist. I met my Hebrews, the white ethnic Hebrews, in the state of Israel as well as Israel at large. And I told them, our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua is the wonderful counselor of Hebrews, as wrote in Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6. Our Hebraist Bible, Tanakh version, not the Jewish Tanakh. The wonderful counselor of Hebrews, not the framer who framed them, saying Hebrews are children of the devil. The lawbreaker, and our Hebrew Messiah Yeshua is indeed the who fulfilled the law, as noted in Matthew chapter 5 verse 17 and 19, and neuter ordered us to obey the commandment of God, the law. And in John chapter 14 verse 15 as well as verse 24. Not a breaker of the law, which says, eat and kill animal, work on Sabbath, and so on. And so I started teaching them to my Hebrews in 1989. And I taught them another Hebraist lesson or so. New Journey. It's Adgehs chapter 27. I titled it New Journey. What is the new journey? My Hebraism, by which I defeated all of the religious, business, economists, political as well as science leaders in my debates 2005, 2007, 2006, 2007 Hebrew calendar, 44 to 46 Hebraist. And during then I was named Nebo, which means prophetic man. Why I was named prophetic man? Because there is Ezekiel chapter 37 verse 1 to 14. Elohim has spoken to me while I was sojourning in Ethiopia. Now, in my debates, started being fulfilled. Hebraism, the dead Hebrews, the dead Hebraists, their identities have died. They are so-called Arabs, so-called Iranians, Israel at large, and now I'm looking at all those up to Russia, those so-called Gentile countries who are brunette, blonde, brown hair, red hair, and so on. I am just looking into, maybe they too may be descendants of Hebrew descendants whose real identity, their Hebrew ethnicity, have died years ago. The dead Hebraist Elohim arose. It is it. It was what I started teaching them. Having destroyed the anti-Hebraist world order, the start of my Hebraist world order, the order of the universe, in which I will be leading all nations in the universe except the blasphemers of God, except the Aristotelians, the neuter blacks, Caucasian Africans, who commit horrific crime against humanity, except them, fulfill my 5 Hebraist global campaign pledges: greater economic prosperity, greater freedom, crime-free, greater standard of living, global universal peace and stability, eternal life verified on earth. So from Exodus chapter 8 verse 19, Mark chapter 16 verse 17 to 18, Luke chapter 10 verse 17 to 19, John chapter 1 verse 12, Acts chapter 10 verse 44 to 46, chapter 17 verse 13 to 20, and so on. In which the anti-Hebraist world order is destroyed. I have destroyed it, as noted, prophesied more than, as the God of Israel spoke about it more than 3,400 years ago by the then Hebraist prophet, noted in Numbers chapter 24, verse 17. I am the star. His Melchizedek, Dr. Adgehs, the Hebrew High Priest Kohen Gadol, to whom Elohim restored Shabbat, the Hebrew royal, to whom Elohim restored the Hebrew royal crown of my Hebrew forefather, then King David of Israel. I am the star from Jacob, the scepter from Israel. And by the guidance of the God of Israel, I have destroyed the anti-Hebraist world order. And I'm leading the older population, my Hebraist world order, and the order of the universe. Elohim has said, I am leading the world population before the sight of Elohim, as well as the segment of the world population, I'm not sure how many percent, except the blasphemers of God, Aristotelians, the Negroes, Cushites, blacks, Africans, except them, the world population which has knowledge thereof from the information I provided at the ruler that Hebraist status for my Hebraist, the ruler that Origin that he was for all white ethnic male figures, as well as white ethnic ladies who have white ethnic child, except Aristotle, and the ruler that Hamnations.org for all descendants of Ham, except the Cushites, Negroes, Blacks, Africans, as well as my Hebraist global campaign, universal campaign, message video channel, broadcasting channels, my Hebraist Bet Elohim global Hebraist news site, www.hebraistnews.us. So, though I couldn't accurately state out how many percent of the world population is aware, and I am leading them. How many percent of the world population is aware? I am leading them for the sight of God and before the sight of them. I am leading the world population even now, and I started being in charge of the world since 1987, since 57, 47, calendar 26 while I was sojourning in Ethiopia. Until then, by the guidance of the God of Israel, I collapsed the Soviet evil communist empire and eliminated socialism and communism from the surface of the earth consistently, as what I thought my British American girls, Washington American girls in 1986, 46 calendar, 25 last year, stating socialism is the double form of anti-Marxism, so we have to eliminate that. Also, the First Kings chapter 18 through 19, Second Kings chapter 9 through 10. And it is then the witness said to me, "We praise your God." I had hit a mad person during then, and as well as a person who had been admitted to intensive care unit. So the witness there, they said to me, "We praise your God," and the communists defeated. The organization Adgehs defeated communists, the God of Adgehs defeated communists, and they said also, as long as you are not going to be arrogant, you'll be in charge of the world. King Assur, which is the descendant of Shem, not in Genesis chapter 9, verse 26 to 27, It is the basis. And Kigas were the descendants of Shem, had been ruling the world, as noted in Isaiah chapter 10, verse 12 to 14. And Elohim disintegrated his world kingdom because he became a god for himself. By my might I achieved it all, and forgot the source of our success, our victory, the God of our Hebrew forefathers, the God of Shem, the God of Abraham, so on. So it was Ham. And it is based on our Hebrew forefather that they know, provided, inspired by the Ruach HaKodesh, the Spirit of God, provided all the leadership to Shem, the world, as well as the universal leadership to Shem, and blessed Japheth to be the official thereof. And by the same Ruach HaKodesh cursed Ham. Nevertheless, those of you from descendants of Ham, I want you to be aware what the devil says. The descendants of Shem, Japheth, trying to enslave descendants of Ham. Don't give them a damn. Don't buy them. Mind my 5 Hebraist Global Campaign pledges. Genesis chapter 9, verse 26 to 27 may sound otherwise to the carnal, the atheistic carnists, the Satanists, because they don't have the knowledge of what God says in there. To me, Elohim has revealed what it means. And so, descendants of Ham, access www.amnations.org and click on Hebraist citizenship, right to vote, right to stand for public office, Hebraist public office. It goes on consistently, goes along consistently with my 5 Hebraist Global Campaign pledges. So it shouldn't have to be a concern for you. And I had been in charge of, started being in charge of the world before the sight of Elohim since 1987, 47 Hebrew calendar, 26 Hebraist era, since when I collapsed the Soviet Union, evil communist empire, as well as eliminated socialism, communism, as I taught my British American girls, white ethnic American girls in 1986, 46 Hebrew calendar, 25 Hebraist era. It is then, you could get the details, details about it, access the www.hebraistnews.us and click on I have defeated all the leaders. This is my global Hebraist press release. In there I have this concise, clearly written it, stating it is my achievement. I achieved it by my Hebraist Government Congregation under my Hebraist High Priest Kohen Gadol, the ruler of all nations, leadership, by the guidance of the God of Israel, the God of Shem, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Ishmael, the God of Esau, Yahushua Elohim. By the Ruach HaKodesh, the Spirit of God, not by the money spirit, our practitioners, voodoo, demonology, practitioners, our practitioners, voodoo, demonology, witchcraft, shaman, santeria, Sahir, Adgehs, Deutera, goddess, and so on, disguised with various masks of religions. As what Elohim taught us about it in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3 through 9. It's how they make by magic, disguised with a mask of religion. What I told you of the 2 divine visions I saw is which the so-called scientists hypothesis, in their hypothesis, it is time traveling backward, and the forward, time travel forward. What I saw is January 17, 2011, 12 of Shvat, 5771 Hebrew calendar, 50 Hebraist era. I flied to another planet, another galaxy, solar system, and I landed in a planet in which there are green skin human beings. Rebuked them, and which is their conversion to Hebraist as well. And then in November 21, 2011, 24th of Sheshvan, 5772 Hebrew calendar, 50 Hebraist era, I traveled again to another planet, solar system, galaxy, and there I executed the Satanist, white ethnic looking Satanist, and the Satanist criminal. I executed and came to Earth, to my Hebraist Bet Elohim. It didn't happen. It is what they call, according to the hypothesis, which they call seeing, traveling in time, ahead of time, and seeing things which are gonna be happening in this head. Nevertheless, whether it is accurately described as what they said or not, it is the divine visions I have saw. Whether they call it time travel or not, the divine visions I have saw, which, according to some of the definition of some of the scientists, it could be considered as time travel. And my divine vision about the green-skinned human beings is consistent with the scripture, noted in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, which says, there are creatures in other planets. And the God of Israel, the God of the household of Israel, revealed it to me, which I saw in my divine vision. There are green-skinned human beings which I traveled, I fly to other planets, solar system, galaxies, and I spanked them, which is rebaking them and converting them pre-Christ. Yet there is no any world scientist who has proved life exists in another planet, solar system, galaxy. Even before the older scientists has no evidence to determine as to whether life exists in other planets, solar system, galaxies, Elohim revealed it to me. It's Melchizedek, Dr. McFarlane. Because I will be in charge of leading them tomorrow. Neuter has anointed and appointed me the Hebraist High Priest, Kohen Gadol, ruler of all nations in the universe. That is why. And I am their leader as well. And Elohim didn't reveal my divine vision, Neuter revealed it to me. I saw. I flied to other planets, and I converted the white, the green skin human beings to Christ. Elohim didn't reveal it to any other religious leader as well. And all other religions in the world have collapsed before the sight of Elohim since 1999, 57, 59 calendar, 38 Hebraist, of other governments. The world have ended before the sight of Elohim since 2007, 57, 67 Hebrew calendar, 46 Hebraist, and I am in the process of smooth, public, righteously ousting them by my Hebraist Government Congregation of the universe, under my Hebraist High Priest, Kohen Gadol, ruler of all nations in the universe, leadership. And I have locked the gates of heaven against any person who steals anything mine. Even they pass it down through days of generations, none of them will obtain eternal life, none of them will enter into heaven. As noted in 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 23 through 24, Matthew chapter 16, verse 19, John chapter 20, verse 22 through 23. Cast out and dusted in hell the so-called God, Spirit of God, of Jews, Christians, Messianic Jews, the anti-Hebraist evil, the demonic spirit, the persons of darkness worship, disguised with various masks of religions, noted in Exodus chapter 22 verse 16, and Numbers chapter 24 verse 1, Joshua chapter 13 verse 22, Isaiah chapter 29 verse 1 through 4, chapter 45 verse 3, Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 10, chapter 20 verse 7, Luke chapter 18 verse 18 through 19, John chapter 1 verse 11, John chapter 8 verse 44, John chapter 14 verse 17, Romans chapter 8 verse 10, 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 10, Revelation chapter 2 verse 23, the demonic spirit, the persons of darkness, worship disguised as a mask of religion. I have cast it out and dusted in hell, and set free the previous Jews, Christians, Messianics, as well as all other religions as well, who had been ensnared by it, and from the snare of darkness, of the snare of the Satan, the snare of the devil, of the anti-Hebraist world order, and as I said, for all descendants of Ham, except the blasphemers of God, the Negroes, Cushites, blacks, is Ham Nation Network, for all white male figures, except Lucifer, for all white ladies who have white child, except Lady Sola, is Overshem Datos, for all white girls, they learn Hebraism at the Hebraist.us. And I have defied all the figures. I am His Melchizedek, Dr. Adgehs, the Hebrew High Priest Kohen Gadol, the Hebrew royal to whom Elohim restored the Hebrew royal crown of my Caucasian Hebrew forefather, the then King David of Israel, by fulfilling Hebraist prophecies noted in Genesis chapter 9 verse 26 through 27, Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 23 through 24, Joshua chapter 1 verse 5, Numbers chapter 24 verse 17, Psalm chapter 18 verse 43, Isaiah chapter 2 verse 1 through 4, Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6, Jewish, Tana, Isaiah chapter 9 verse 7, Bible, Isaiah chapter 11 verse 1 through 7, Ezekiel chapter 34 verse 23 through 24, Daniel chapter 2 verse 44, chapter 7 verse 13 through 14, verse 27, Micah chapter 4 verse 1 through 3, Zechariah chapter 6 verse 12 through 13, Romans chapter 15 verse 12, and so on, by appointing me, the Hebraist High Priest Kohen Gadol, ruler of all nations in the universe, and entrusted into my hands all of the souls of all nations in the universe, except the blasphemers of God, to lead them blamelessly before the sight of Elohim, fulfilling my 5 Hebraist global pledges, universal pledges as well, to lead them in greater freedom, greater economic prosperity, crime-free, greater standard of living, global peace, universal peace and stability, and eternal life verifiable on earth. As noted in Exodus chapter 8 verse 19, Mark chapter 16 verse 17 through 18, Luke chapter 10 verse 17 through 19, John chapter 1 verse 12, Adgehs chapter 10 verse 44 through 46, chapter 19 verse 13 through 20, and so on. The proud Caucasian Hebrew ethnic American man with red skin Hebrew, Caucasian Hebrew look. The white man ruling all nations in the universe, the only man in the universe. I have 9 titles. I am His Melchizedek, Dr. Adgehs, His Melchizedek, Dr. and Pemstrojdew at www.Hebraist.us.